95% accuracy. It's painless, non-invasive, and affordable. Call Pastor Job at 350-2628, 767-1031, or 275-6300. Sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your bioplasma diagnostic full body scan at Job Optimum Health and Wellness.
Hi, I'm Valentine Garcia.
And I'm Nikki Garcia.
Please join us on the Final Hour broadcast every Thursday at 9 a.m. on the Street 919 FM radio.
Every week we will journey into the amazing Word of God. So please join us.
See you then.
It's all about the fastest growing reggae show in the land without a doubt. Right here on the Street 919 FM. Each and every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with yours truly, MC Duke, alongside Selector Kochi. So make it a date and don't be late. Rock and come in, so line up, link up, creep up. You don't know reggae rock each and every Sunday. Salute God Amari, King Selassie.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And carry me through. You know I love to have my way, but then you always keep me safe. When I cry, you cry with me. You never forsake me and you never leave. Come along and hold me so tightly. Father, you bless me, keep everything direct. Oh, never put me when I'm on your side. You protect your chosen, no compromise. Say you have to flee. You know I love to have my way. Even then you always keep me safe. When I cry, you cry with me. You never forsake me, Lord, you never leave. Love is so me can't vex. Pass through the furnace, I never found the ends. We are the world champions, stamp on my chest. Woman who love God, it's a real empress. Love me, hold me so tightly. Keep everything direct. Never worry when I'm on your side. You protect your chosen, no compromising. Love me, hold me so tightly. Love me every day. Father, you blessing me, keeping me, blessing me, saving me, blessing me, forgiving me in every way. Lord, I thank you for loving me.
Listen to the Street 919 FM.
strong and keep my armor on. If I fall, rise the next time. Can't let them keep a good soldier down. So I rise and take my place. 'Cause I'm more than a conqueror. I'm gonna finish this race. So call me a winner. Yeah. 'Cause my God, he will fight for me. Call me a winner. Jehovah done said victory. So when you see me again and you give me a hand, call me a winner. Call me a winner. I'm always gonna win. Yeah. The enemy really want my mind. I got to stay strong and keep my armor on. If I fall, rise the next time. Can't let them keep a good soldier down. So I rise and take my place. 'Cause I'm more than a conqueror. I'm gonna finish this race. So call me a winner. Yeah. 'Cause my God, he will fight for me. Call me a winner. Jehovah done said victory. So when you see me again and you give me a hand, call me if I'm a right hand. Call me a winner. Yeah, that's who I am. Yeah. A winner. I'll fight this fight with the prize in sight. Never give up on this journey called life. Thankful for where you brought me this far. With your strength, I keep pushing on and higher up. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna finish this race. So call me a winner. 'Cause my God, he will fight for me. Call me a winner. Jehovah done said victory. So when you see me again and you give me a hand, call me if I'm a right there. Call me a winner. Yeah, that's who I am. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give in. I know my God, he always causes me to win. Through all my battles, through my circumstance, he will make a way. Shine a light. Keep me on my path. I'm thanking you, Father, for my strength today. I'm thanking you, Father,
local music. I just want to let you know that that's a local music. All right? And Shelly Ann, I really like your music, I must say. Your music is really soothing and inspirational. I want to say thank you very much for doing such great music, man. I'd like to meet you one day. All right? So, it is now 11:16, and it's my turn to take you through the courses of talk on the Street 919 FM. So, every Monday, if you want to know when is the time for the talk, it's really after 11. I know from 9 till 11 is inspirational music and music to encourage your spirit and your soul on a Monday. From after lunch, then I get into a little discussion and a little talk and stuff like that. Okay? So that's the routine. Get into it. Spread the word around and tell somebody that Pastor Google is on the Street 919 FM. So we get into the talk now. All right? And I know most of you, when we get into the talk, or your anthem for the talk is this song. Share the life. Oh my goodness. So share the life. Tell somebody Pastor Google is on. We're going into the talk. Music from Mr. Sean Daniel. I've been playing this song for 10 years now.
Jesus Christ, what we say? When will we stop falling into the same trap? Oh, when will mankind learn to see that the further we stray from Jehovah's roadmap is the more we invite in misery. There's no better way in this world for peace and total rest. Tried and tested, Christ's way is the best. No philosophy, no creed could ever supersede what the Holy Bible, wonderful oracle, showing the people. Oh yeah, and two shall be in the field, one shall be taken. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Every stone shall be upturned and false doctrine shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high. Yeah, the Father never needed religion or systems of it. His word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's promises changes never, and true government is when God leads the leader. Lead them on, yeah. True government is when God leads my leaders. Oh yeah. Serious thing now. We'll hear the message in the reading book. Oh yeah. Problem number one is so plain and simple. Religion, it has sentenced God to death. With falsehood and folly, they blindfold simple people for power and the profit that they get. Some would burn you at the stake, rack you and wheel you out for mere denial or even doubt. With violence and bribery they try. Is your soul they want to buy? But Jesus said, come freely, all who labor and are weary, come rest in me. Christ say, rest in me. And I say, two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. government is when God leads my leaders. Oh, oh yeah. True government is when God instructed the leader. Listening to the Father. Oh, oh, oh. Will hear me lament for true government, from the president to the parliament, transforming the government. Yeah. Affecting the vagrant on the pavement. We want a leader that is heaven sent. Oh, oh, oh. Mathematicians, physicians, politicians, atheists, etc. deny God or decide to just patronize. Hey, they tolerate Christianity as just a social matter. To bury, for marriage, and to baptize. Hey man, check the first two presidents of the United States of America. They were Orthodox, practicing Christians, because the mysteries of God's plan are nonsense to carnal man. The master say walk by faith, never to extrapolate, cause he's too great. I know he's too great, and I say two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Yeah, yeah. Two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken to the root, while God's truth and his people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. No, his word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's statutes changes never. Oh man, true government is when God leading the leader, instructing the leader. We want a government that's tried and true to represent me and you from the Christian crew. Without a word from God, what we gonna do? We want a man from the chosen few. Oh, 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 oh. Somebody love somebody. That is when God leads the leader. It was always true messengers of God's salvation who ruled over the earth's political fate. Oh yeah, but now thanks to the emergence of secular humanism, they separating the church from the state. Ask King David, Joshua, Samuel, Solomon, all these great folks. They knew government without God is guesswork. Without prophetic words to guide, the leader bound to slip and slide. So you know when all is said and done, they got to know the Holy One to lead my generation, my congregation. Two shall walk in the field, one shall be chosen.
All right, so I am here, and I'm sure you're seeing me on Facebook and on YouTube. Constructive Talk with Pastor Google on Facebook and on YouTube. My friends on the radio who are locked on, you need to get some form of device to come onto YouTube and Facebook, because some of you are complaining that you're not hearing us properly. All right, and we are rectifying it, yes, but it's going to be much easier for you if you get a phone or a laptop or a tablet or something, some sort of device. Let's get one and join me on Facebook, join me on YouTube. You'll be able to see me and interact with me. You could type whatever you want to see. You know, some of you can't see certain things on Facebook and on YouTube. And, you know, I don't want to encourage you to see anything on Facebook and on YouTube to get yourself banned. All right? But log on. Be a part of the discussion on Facebook and on YouTube. So I'm seeing my people on Facebook and on YouTube coming on. Troop. But that's okay. 129 and 134. But you're coming on. To come on, you will come on. Because what I want to show today, I want to talk about something I saw in a newspaper article. So there are several things. This discussion with Fali and Mr. Fali Augustine. What is this? Fali Augustine and Mr. Watson Solomon Duke. So Fali Augustine is the chief sec for the Tobago House of Assembly, and Mr. Watson Duke is the political leader of the PDP and the deputy secretary, right, chief sec. But I'm seeing all sorts of things in the news. We're still seeing all sorts of things in the news. Okay. All right. All sorts of things we're seeing in the news popping up. And it makes you wonder what really going on. So in the Daily Express today, all right, in the Daily Express today, oh gosh, I hope I have it. I hope I find it today. All right. So I'm seeing, well, the newspaper is so filled with sad news, eh? So the Daily Express today, THA give us no money, say Roxborough Folk Performers Company. That's in the Daily Express today, eh? In the Daily Express today, THA gave us no money, says Roxborough Folk Performers Company. Right? That is the headline in the Express. There's another news article I saw today, I believe. Yes, I saw another news article today where the deputy political leader of the PDP in Trinidad is calling on Fally to apologize. That's another interesting story. But I don't know how many of you, and I'm sure that Ms. Sharon Felix this morning may have played for you Fally's statement, on, not Fally, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke's statements on Saturday. All right? I don't know how many of you would have heard it, but Mr. Watson Solomon Duke would have made a statement on Saturday also. But you remember on Friday, Thursday, Mr. Fally Augustine would have laid some threats, and he sent political threats to Mr. Watson Solomon Duke, where Mr. Fally Augustine, chief sec, said that he was going to review Watson Solomon Duke portfolio over the weekend. We ain't hear nothing. You don't hear anything. You all heard from the chief sec, Fally Augustine? No. We heard from everybody else. We even heard from the PDP leader, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke. But there was a video done by the deputy political leader of the PDP. Are you all aware of that? Yes. Miss Jackson, Miss Jackson, the Progressive Democratic, the PDP deputy political leader, Miss Jackson, would have asked or called on Chief Sec Fally Augustine to immediately apologize to their political leader, Watson Duke. In a Facebook video on Saturday, Ms. Jackson reminded Augustine not to cut off the hand that gave you the crown. So I'm reading from the article here in the Newsday. All right? So she said to Mr. Fally Augustine, Ms. Jackson has called on Chief Secretary Fally Augustine to immediately apologize to their political leader, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke. In a Facebook video on Saturday, Jackson reminded Mr. Augustine not to cut off the hand that gave you the crown. The PDP, which boasts a 14-1 majority in the Tobago House of Assembly, THA, all right, So I want to play for you something that jumped out at me. I looked at this lady's video on Saturday. I sat down, I listened carefully to what this lady had to say on Saturday. And I want to tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Please, don't bury your heads in the sand. The old people have a saying, do not spit when breeze is blowing. That's a saying by the old people. Do not spit when breeze is blowing. I heard my bishop said on Sunday, don't laugh when men fall. I'm talking to PNM people now. People of the People's National Movement who are gloating and laughing and happy. Don't laugh when men fall. Proverb says it, you know. It's a proverb. Do not laugh when men fall. It's a serious thing. Take this little youth man advice. Some of you listening to me older than me, and some of you who listen to me know for a fact that you don't spit when breeze blowing. And you don't laugh at people, or even worse yet, your enemy, when they fall. So while we rejoicing, oh, we tell all your soul to go. Just note, take note. Take note. You know what I'm saying? I know all you vex it, man. I have to tell only the truth. The Bible say, don't laugh when your enemy fall. Don't laugh when men fall. So let me read the scripture for you now. Because some of you must be saying down there saying Google going mad. I ain't going mad. I'm warning all you. There's a reason why I am warning you guys. I'll tell you all later on. Proverbs 24:17 to 18. Proverbs 24:17 to 18. Rejoice not when thine enemy fall, and let not your heart be glad when he stumble, lest the Lord see it, and it turns on you. You hear me? So we're talking about folly. And we're talking about Watson. I want you all to watch this. And let me say happy birthday to Miss Penny. Remember Parliament for Arima and the minister in the office, the minister of administration, Miss Penny. Trying to remember my lady first name now. Yes. I don't know why this has happened to me, but I will remember her name, her full name, her full government name. But I want to show you this video. So listen to statements that are being made by the deputy political leader of the PDP in Trinidad. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you this. 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 You need to come on the live, you know, because I want you to listen to what this lady has to say. And if anybody close to Dr. Rowley, I want him to be on the live to listen to what this lady had to say. Listen to what this lady had to say. Miss Penelope Beckles, thank you very much, Antoinette. So let me say happy birthday to the Honorable Member of Parliament for Arima, Miss Penelope Beckles. Today is her birthday, and I want to say happy birthday to her on behalf of the Street 919 FM and the, staff and everybody. So, anybody close to the doc, anybody close to Dr. Rowley, I want him to be on the live or tell him put on the radio. Message him now. Tell him put on his radio. Because I want you all to watch this video and listen to what this lady had to say about Mr. Fali Agustin. Doc, listen. But don't laugh. Don't laugh when your enemy stumble and fall. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I learned that yesterday from my bishop. Don't laugh. Trying Tobago, don't laugh. Because it's the people of Tobago that feeling it, you know. That's what I want to see. While we laugh at what's happening in Tobago, because of wrong choice of leaders, we now have to face this. And we, as a nation, have to help them through it. So watch this video and come back and we go talk.
In that same address that you are addressing a situation, why would you use words that is derogatory in nature? Why would you say you want to put his position in review and so much so that you can make it redundant? Why would you say such things? That is gross misconduct and gross disrespect on your part. But we all fall short. No one is perfect. We understand that. But you must recognize quickly and make a public apology for your actions against your political leader. Because in the same vein, my brother Fali, in the same vein, there were many allegations that I was privy to that was made against you. Allegation of bribe and corruption, that you are favoring Trinidadian business contractors and giving them contract because they are giving you millions of dollars in return. Those were allegations that was brought forward to us about you. But what did our political leader do? Did he put you before the bus? Did he say that he wants to review and do an investigation? No. He quickly refuted those claims. There were many other allegations that you are working with the enemy. You are working with another political organization to bring down the PDP. What did he do? Again, he refuted those claims. There were claims and allegations again continuously being made against you that you are going for the position of political leader of the PDP and you weren't happy with the hand that gave you the crown. Why would you want to cut off that hand that gave you that crown? Why would you want to do that? Why? Nothing makes sense. Now, hence the reason I would ask, what were your intention? Why would you want to commit political genocide and suicide? Why?
You all heard what that lady said? She is the deputy political leader for the PDP in Trinidad. If you don't know, I'll let you know. That is what she is. And she made those statements, and somehow or the other, those statements are very damning. Those statements are worrying. So this lady who is the deputy political leader of the PDP, she is the so what Fali was before he get fired Saturday is what she is in Trinidad and Tobago. In Trinidad, on behalf of the PDP. It is very, 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 very worrying. I want to play it again. You know? I want to play it again. And I want you to listen to what she had to say. Because some of you may hear and not listen. And I want to keep my scripture verse close to my hand. Very, very close to hand. I want to keep my scripture verse. I want to stay in this zone today. If I come out of this zone, I will get in trouble. So listen to what listen to what I'm saying. Proverbs 24, I'll read verse 17. Proverbs, if you're looking for it, 24, verse 17. Proverbs in the Old Testament. Proverbs in the Old Testament in the Bible. 24:17 says, rejoice not when thine enemies fall, and let not thine heart be glad when he or she stumble. You hear that? Right. So I'm going to play for you again. Listen to this lady. And when I done play it, we will talk. Because I have to play Watson Duke. He did an interview. And I want to play the interview. He did the interview. It's either Saturday or yesterday. And I want you all to hear it.
Why in that same address that you are addressing a situation, why would you use words that is derogatory in nature? Why would you say you want to put his position in review, and so much so that you can make it redundant? Why would you say such things? That is gross misconduct and gross disrespect on your part. But we all fall short. No one is perfect. We understand that. But you must recognize quickly and make a public apology for your actions against your political leader. Because in the same vein, my brother Fali, in the same vein, there were many allegations that I was privy to that was made against you. Allegation of bribe and corruption.
What? Fali has to correct this. If some people will say if I was Fali being studied, she's a nobody. Hey, this is not sounding good. This is not sounding good, Mr. Fali Austin. But, again, let's go.
That you are failing business contractors and giving them contract because they are giving you millions of dollars in return. In that same address that you are addressing a situation, why would you use words that is derogatory in nature? Why would you say you want to put his position in review, and so much so that you can make it redundant? Why would you say such things? That is gross misconduct and gross disrespect on your part. But we all fall short. No one is perfect. We understand that. But you must recognize quickly and make a public apology for your actions against your political leader. Because in the same vein, my brother Fali, in the same vein, there were many allegations that I was privy to that was made against you. Allegation of bribe and corruption, that you are favoring Trinidadian business contractors and giving them contract because they are giving you millions of dollars in return. Those were allegations that was brought forward to us about you. But what did our political leader do? Did he put you before the bus? Did he say that he wants to review and do an investigation? No. He quickly refuted those claims. There were many other allegations that you are working with the enemy. You are working with another political organization to bring down the PDP. What did he do? Again, he refuted those claims. There were claims and allegations again continuously being made against you that you are going for the position of political leader of the PDP, and you weren't happy with the hand that gave you the crown. Why would you want to cut off that hand that gave you that crown? Why would you want to do that? Why? Nothing makes sense. Now, hence the reason I would ask, what were your intention? Why would you want to commit political genocide and suicide? Why?
Very interesting, eh? Very, very interesting. Some people are asking on the live. I just want to read some of the comments that some people are saying. Some, I'm not going to read all, some. Some people are saying, why now? Why are you talking about it now? Some people are saying, I believe you're lying. Some people are saying, I love it. And some people are really just upset that things are not going the way they felt it should have gone under the PDP. And there are some people who had high hopes for the PDP. I know that Sharon played a clip this morning. I want to play it again. For those of you, in case you missed it. Listen to this gentleman from Tobago. Listen to how he feels about the situation. And when we come back, there's enough time for the news. And then when I come back from the news, you have to join me back. And you have to share the live because I want to play for you statements made over the weekend via an interview with Mr. Watson Solomon Duke. Don't touch your dial. Listen to this gentleman, in case you missed it this morning.
My name is Ellis Clark, businessman, Roxborough, I work at Works as a CRO. Now, my take on the whole thing is that whoever gave Duke the information in America give him bad information. And I'm disappointed that he took that information and without a pinch of salt and make it and run with it. He should have checked out to make sure that the information is authentic, and we in Roxborough are very disappointed about the whole situation because we take 21 years to remove the PNM from office. And we are going into this with no one man. And I want Watson and Farley and all of them to know that this is not their party. No Watson, no Farley, none of them is entitled to this party. This party was Watson's dream. And Watson solely dreamed to all of us by membership. And if we have a problem in the party, the membership supposed to be part of them kind of irrational behavior, them big politicians. A matter of fact, I can't call them big, they're young. Because I must be one of the most eldest politicians in Tobago because I talk politics every day of the year. And I was a member of the then Hochoy Charles and Robinson regime. And we have to understand that politics have a moral of its own. We have to understand that you have to be able to talk to people, hate them, and hug them in politics. That is about politics. You cannot always just go out thing and our slogan is to fix this. We have to fix this because the people is not accepting nothing from Farley and Watson about who this and who that. This is our party. We worked 21 hard years to get away from the PNM, and we need to fix this, and we have to fix it. I say so. This has to fix.
All right, you're a resident of Roxwood. Tell us about the group and exactly what is on the ground about what has happened.
Well, in my opinion, I don't know what happened and what transpired, but based on the group that I am seeing all the Roxwood people and them here. All the people and them who supposed to be in the group in Roxbury right now. So I don't know where she gets the people, them she thing and how they get them from and thing, but my thing are all the people and them that I know are members of that group around here. I'm seeing them in Tobago. So if she gets the people from Trinidad or Miami or where she gets the people and them, I don't care about that. And I am standing firm with Farley because if 400,000 was given to them for trip, why they can't source the rest of money for themselves and make their thing? This is not, we didn't send them out there to do nothing for government. You know? They go out there as ambassador, they are custom going out, and if you get money, 400,000, you have to make it look, you cannot call Watson and give him bad information, and then he, without taking it with we can't live that way. And then nobody will try to break up this party that we bought into. It's not Watson own, it's not Farley own, and I'm telling them plain, we have to fix that. We have to come and sit down as big people and fix this and fix it now.
My lords and...
So, we're going for the news and we'll be right back. Right here on the street, 919 FM. Don't touch your dial. Stay right here with me. We're going to come back and we're going to take your calls and we're going to get into the discussion today. All right? Still have one more video to play for you, which is the video with Farley, with Watson giving an interview on a station. All right?
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street. 919 FM.
We are the street. 919 FM. The only radio station bringing perfect balance between entertainment and talk. Updating you with current affairs and social issues.
So what, we should just sit down and take the foolishness that's being meted out because of you feel that all you're real bad?
Right? Unlike his situation that I don't even want to go back and bring up and highlight.
You don't have a good record where that is concerned?
Having you in the loop with trends and entertainment. Providing music that lives on.
Darling, I feel the disco.
And spiritual food for the body, mind, and soul.
Satan soul face. Enough taking that.
The Street. 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845-349-5178 or 342-7303.
The steel pan, the only musical instrument invented in the 20th century, is a reflection of the perseverance and innovativeness of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, which have always been central to our development as a nation. And the steel pan story epitomizes this, carved out of life and struggle and determination, rising out of the spirit of the African drum. The steel pan stands today as evidence of innovativeness, creativity, and passion for life integral to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Kwesi Paul. Join me each and every Sunday from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight on the street 91.9 FM.
Blessings in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Nikki Garcia, and you are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 in the morning on the street 919 FM radio. Here, Pastor Helen Garcia and my husband, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. Tune in and prepare to be blessed.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the street 919 FM.
Tune into the street 91.9 FM
every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
for the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinau Thomas.
The scripture says, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in.
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919FM.com.
News from the street, 919FM.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the street 919 FM and online, Facebook and YouTube on Iwer TV. In the headlines, a call for government to address white-collar crime. The president declares October 24th Diwali holiday. WASA advises of 3-day shutdown of Point Lisa's desal plant, and internationally the Queen of England is laid to rest. And now the news in detail. Leader of the Movement for Social Justice, David Abdullah, is calling on the authorities to deal with white-collar crimes if they are to get a grip on violent crimes such as drug trafficking and the guns and ammunition trade. Abdullah was speaking at the MSJ's virtual media conference on Sunday. He called for strong action to deal with white-collar crimes like corruption and money laundering. Abdullah says the authorities must immediately implement public procurement laws, deal with the absence of scanners at the nation's ports, and implement party finance law to tackle white-collar crimes. He also said a financial intelligence unit must be established as a standalone financial intelligence agency with full investigative power. October 24th has been declared a holiday to mark Diwali. Hindu devotees were told on Monday that the celebration of one of their main festivals will be celebrated on that day. In a media release on Monday morning, the Ministry of Communications declared the date in keeping with the Public Holidays and Festivals Act, Chapter 1905. The Diwali celebrations are expected to be the first in-person ceremonies since COVID-19 restrictions were lifted since the height of the pandemic in 2020. The Prime Minister today defended his series of high-level meetings with energy giants in Europe, saying that it was critical that this country have a seat at the decision-makers' table. Dr. Keith Rowley returned last night following overseas meetings with Proman, Shell and BP. All three companies have significant investments in Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Rowley, at a media briefing this morning, said since the government is not a producer of natural gas, it was critical that they meet with these companies at their headquarters in Europe. Dr. Rowley described the meetings as productive and said he is pleased that this country is well positioned to continue its relationship with these companies. The Prime Minister said that if these discussions do not happen now, then this country will be in serious trouble a few years down the line when the current natural gas fields are used up. Meanwhile, Dr. Rowley said there is no truth to allegations made by the United National Congress that part of the purpose for the overseas trip was to sell off Clico's methanol plant shares to Proman, Germany's plant. Dr. Rowley said nothing of the sort happened. Emergency repairs to a leak at the Point Lisa's desalination plant will see a 3-day shutdown of the facility operated by the Desalination Company of Trinidad and Tobago. DesalCorp advised the Water and Sewage Authority that the shutdown is scheduled for Tuesday, September 13th to Thursday, September 15th. The shutdown will affect the pipe-borne water supply to areas in central and south Trinidad. Internationally, the Queen's coffin has been taken from the Palace of Holyrood House to St. Giles Cathedral, where a service is being held. King Charles III, along with his brothers and sister, led the procession along the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. A service of remembrance is being held before mourners are allowed to go in to pay their respects. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online, Facebook and YouTube on Iwer TV. Recapping the headlines, a call to address white-collar crime. The President declares October 24th Diwali holiday. WASA advises of 3-day shutdown of Point Lisa's desal plant, and internationally the Queen of England is laid to rest. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. I am Vanessa Thomas.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
Trap. Oh, when will mankind learn misery. There's no better way in this world for peace and total rest. Tried and tested, Christ's way is the best. No philosophy, no creed could ever supersede what the Holy Bible, wonderful oracle, showing the people. Oh yeah, and two shall be in the field, one shall be taken. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Every stone shall be upturned and false doctrine shaken, while God's truth and his people are lifted high. Yeah. The Father never needed religion or systems of it. His word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's promises changes never. And true government is when God leads the leader. Lead them on, yeah. True government is when God leads my leaders. Oh, oh yeah. Serious thing now. Well, hear the message in the rhythm. Oh yeah. Problem number one is so plain and simple. Religion, it has sentenced God to death. With falsehood and folly, they blindfold simple people for power and the profit that they get. Some would burn you at the stake, rack you and wheel you out for mere denial or even doubt. With violence and bribery they try. Is your soul they want to buy? But Jesus said, come freely, all who labor and are weary. Come rest in me. Christ say, rest in me. And I say, two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Oh yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken, while God's truth and his people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. His truth stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's statutes changes never. No man, true government is when God leads my leaders. Oh, oh yeah, true government is when God instructed the leader. You're listening to the Father. Oh, oh, oh. Well, hear me lament for true government, from the president to the parliament, transforming the government, yeah. Affecting the vagrant on the pavement. We want a leader that is heaven sent. Oh, 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 oh. Mathematicians, physicians, politicians, atheists, etc. deny God or decide to just patronize. Hey, they tolerate Christianity as just a social matter. To bury, for marriage, and to baptize. Hey man, check the first two presidents of the United States of America. They were Orthodox, practicing Christians, because the mysteries of God's plan are nonsense to carnal man. The master say walk by faith, never to extrapolate, cause he's too great. I know he's too great. And I say two shall be in the field, one shall be chosen. Yeah, yeah. Two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false government shaken to the root, while God's truth and his people are lifted high, so high. The Father never needed religion or systems of earth. No, his word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yes, over the earth's political fate. Oh yeah, but no thanks to the emergence of secular humanism is separating the church from the state. Ask King David, Joshua, Samuel, Solomon, all these great folks. The new government without God is guesswork. Without prophetic words to guide, the leader bound to slip and slide. So you know when all is said and done, they got to know the Holy One to lead my generation, my congregation. Two shall walk in the field, one shall be chosen. Yeah, two shall be at the wheel, only one will fly. Man, every stone shall be upturned and false doctrine shaken, while God's truth and His people are lifted high. So high, the Father never needed religion or systems of earth. No, His word stands on its own and proves its worth. Yesterday, today, forever. God's promises changes never. No man true government is when God leading the leader, He leading the region, He leading my nation, my generation with a word for revelation. Me what the congregation sing here. True government is when God leads my leader. When Jehovah Nissi in charge of it, we go have a brighter future for we generations, for we children.
When I look around in the world, what do I see? I see footprints that men have left on the sand while walking through times. I see fruits of our ambition, figments of our imagination. And I ask myself, when will it end? When will it end? It is plain to see, universally this land is not bountiful as it was, simply because in this quest for success, nothing stands in man's way. All rivers run dry, soon the birds won't fly, the mountains will be no longer high. And when I really think of it, yes, I just wonder why. Charity deplored, equal rights totally ignored, wisdom and ingenuity working in accord, simply to afford such inventions as thermonuclear warfare and environmental warfare. And I wonder now, where do we go from here? Prophets everywhere gaze upon the horizon and declare that judgment will come as the savage hands of unscrupulous men defile everything passed by. Time is running out as we eat and drink species at the brink of being extinct, yeah. And I think no one can deny that the price of progress is high, really, really high, high, high. I see consciousness abate as today we live recklessly. Money make egos inflate and thereby create a turbulent state. I see a struggle between the sexes, new hang-ups and old complexes. Now the question is, right in context, what shall be next? I've already seen this would have come divided between race, color, creed, and class. And some of the things the scripture predict, how it truthfully come to pass. Soil that wouldn't be here. Children making children to be a part of this growing mass. And I ask, if this is progress, Lord, how long would it last? How long would it last? How long would it last? I see craziness increase, bogus priests and corrupt police. No peace, the struggle don't cease as man turn to drugs, searching for relief. I see a frightened humanity, a sad and confused society, and it saddens me. How shall it be in time to come? Can this world withstand this constant misuse and abuse by the hands of man, as they try to shape this world in a way to fit in with all their plans? Time is running out as we eat and drink species at the brink of being extinct, yes. And I think no one can deny that the price of progress is high, real high.
frustration. I agree we all can't be farmers. We must have some doctors and lawyers, but some are we too lazy to even feel lazy. You see, we so hate to work hard. When we do, we cement the backyard. And when we buy, you could hear we cry how the price is high, high, high. I don't know why we don't plant the land, plant the land. Man is a farming in the land, plant the land, plant the land. Save yourself from starvation, plant the land, and help out the nation. On the wall, anytime that the drizzle come, cabbage gone $7 a pound. We the beginning of a long famine.
Everybody wants to know what's going on with me. Now let you nobody live inside my head rent free. Say loud, I'm living happy in a real life. Say loud, I'm living happy in a real life. Celebrate my life, you never get me down. Celebrate my life, it's in a funeral. One step, two step, the journey never done. Let me live my life, it's in a misery. Multiplying smiles like it's chemistry. One step, two step, you can't stop me. I'm happy. I'm happy. So happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. So happy. I'm happy. We're taking pictures for the gram, 'cause that's what we all do. My filter's popping, people watching to find out if it's true. But tell them I'm happy in a real life. Tell them I'm happy in a real life. Let me live my life, it's in no misery. Multiplying smiles like it's chemistry. One step, two step, you can't stop me. I'm happy. I'm happy. So happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. So happy. I'm happy.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago. I am back. So, let's go straight into it. Now, I want to show you video clip. I want to show you a video clip of an incident. You see, sometimes it's good to remind some of you, when I remind you guys of certain things, it shouldn't, so when certain things happen, you shouldn't be surprised. You should not be surprised at all. So let me show you this video. Come on the live. You need to come back on the live, Come back on the live and look at this. How many of you remember this video? How many of you remember this story in the news? Look at it. And you tell me if you remember this story in the news. So I'm looking for you to build the live. Come on the live. Remember, you're coming on to Iwer TV on the Street 919 FM. Also, you're jumping onto Facebook, which is the Street 919 FM. All right? So you're jumping onto Iwer TV and you're jumping onto the Street 919 FM. Trinidad and Tobago. Look at this video.
Woltran Ellie Louiso has promised to ensure that you don't lead this organization into the next term, nor into the end of 2013. I said, telling me you will kill me. And you just threatened to impress our class? So you threatening to kill me? Watson, you threatening to kill me, boy?
There were strong words for and from PSA President Watson Duke.
I want to embed this in the flesh. You want to do what? Embed this in the flesh. So come over. Come. Yeah, come in front of him. Let me see you do it.
It was the revenge of the fallen as ousted members of the union's executive, who had vowed earlier this week to take back their union, tried to do just that. 6 executive members have been suspended over the last several months after objecting to the way that Mr. Duke is running the union. The most recent was Joanne Capriata, who was suspended just last Friday. Earlier in the day, the doors of the PSA headquarters were locked, preventing members from entering or leaving the building as the remaining PSA executive members met upstairs. When they were eventually let into the building, they immediately stormed into the PSA's rooftop meeting room where the executive meeting was in session, claiming that Mr. Duke had wrongfully suspended members of the council without the necessary 2/3 majority.
Right now, it has actually degenerated into fisticuffs with members of the PSA attacking their president, PSA Watson Duke.
And it only got worse.
And when the smoke cleared, PSA President Watson Duke was escorted out that door, and now the suspended executive members have taken over the meeting, and they've just nominated somebody new to chair this meeting. Ousted PSA official Oral Saunders says the day's action is legal in the eyes of the PSA Constitution.
So what has happened is that in the absence of Mr. Duke, in the absence of Mr. Joe Field, and in the absence of Ms. Singh, the second vice president, the General Council, acting on their own volition, has decided to appoint a chair. The chair has taken control of the meeting, and the meeting will continue to function in the normal way as the democratic process called the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago dictates.
President Duke declined to comment to the media, but General Secretary Nixon Callender says they were simply being misguided.
It is a form of misguided. This is a form of misguided democracy, and yet again, the general public is well aware, and they are seeing now where these misguided persons are bringing their problems to.
For some, it was just too much to bear.
I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this.
But even as the meeting continued without the president, private security guards, allegedly members of the Jamaat al-Muslimin, stormed the meeting several times, attempting to evict the members. And even as top brass of the police service tried to calm tempers, the suspended executive members have vowed to stay overnight at the Abercrombie Street headquarters if necessary. Kijan Haynes, C News.
Now, some folks who say, what's the stake right now? Those are nothing. And I respect those persons who are saying that. I see them as persons who really care about me, and they don't want me to oversell the idea of a free Tobago. But I'm also concerned about when being quiet is too quiet.
Hey!
You know? When am I supposed to speak? Am I supposed to speak when they give permission? Am I supposed to speak at a particular time? One of it is that Duke should lead the PDP. Let lead the PDP now. So I'm saying, all right, Why should I want to leave the PDP now? Why? Why? When in between 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, right? There was no voice. No voice in the big house. I know who I am now. I know what I've done for the country. I have given Tobago a voice. I've given Tobago a voice. There was no voice that Farley and Faith and the rest of them would not have found a place in politics because they had no interest in it. They told me straight up, they had no interest. At least Faith told me she had no interest. She's a technocrat. Farley just didn't come in. But I pursued them individually, even though I was charged then. And they came on the team knowing I was a charged person because they saw an opportunity to rescue Tobago. This is why I salute Farley and Faith.
There you sir.
Who have been there.
Hallelujah. Say it.
When we were just building this thing, I salute Farley and Faith. And they are the future of the party. I have no problem with it. I said it openly since 20. And yet now, people are saying we are in a comfortable position. We don't want to lose it. Chill out. So
you can't chill out now.
It's difficult for me sometimes to understand people. All right? It's really difficult sometimes, Mama Coco, to understand people. That you have to, you have to understand what do people really want. Do they want a Watson Duke that they can manage?
To muzzle.
Or they want a Watson Duke who is pursuing the thing in a way that he has been pursuing it? And if I've been pursuing it wrong, then point out to me my failures in the past when I pursued something and it turned out wrong.
Hey!
Point out to me, and then that's history. That's the empirical data. That's the historical data we will take. But if we pursuing things, we have been able to bring light to issues. We have been able to clarify issues. We have been able to advance the cause of the common people. That allow me to do my job. We have different people in the team. Those who are quiet, those who will not speak, they will do the quiet part. But don't tell me to be quiet. I mean, come on, man. Everybody got the role to play. Mr. Next postal launch was Faith. Dr. Faith, that was in August, I think. And somewhere along September, October, I launched Farley in Speyside. And these persons saw something to come and follow. All right?
Yes.
I wasn't a madman then. Okay? I wasn't a madman then. I wasn't a big mouth man then. So how could I leave? How could I leave? And in 2015, 2016, 17, when we started the party, was my money again. Nobody not saying thanks, Watson Duke, for spending your hard-earned money, Was my money again running the thing.
On the live, I have one more video or two more videos to show you, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines. Come on the live. I have at least two more videos to show you, and then I'm going to open up the lines.
I'm quite certain about this. Mr. Duke cannot be a secretary.
Hey!
That's my view. His personality does not lend itself to that. He has to be in a position where he's in charge, giving instruction, making whatever policies according to his own capacity, and so on. But to be under instruction, if you notice, he has avoided being in forums where Mr. Augustine is at the pulpit speaking down to him. He's avoiding that. He has avoided that from the very start. When they had the retreat, he left. After the retreat was finished in Magdalena at the very beginning of their tenure, all the other secretaries, and they're all older than Mr. Perhaps except for Nutsi, where he's assistant secretary, but they're all there, gathered there in the audience. Mr. Duke was not there. In my own perception, he's avoiding Mr. Augustine talking down to him because it is hard for Mr. Duke. We have to be real, We have to be real to who we are.
What is your view, Trinidad and Tobago? What is your view? 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791, 771-1791, 466-5391, 466-5391. And before I go to the phone lines, I just want to read again my scripture verse for today. Proverbs 24:17. Rejoice not when thine enemy fall, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbles. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Booker. Have a pleasant day, and I'm glad you read that scripture because, sometimes we all rejoice because it's in our favor. But remember, we are all people and fall short of the glory of God. Anyway, Pastor Booker, like the last speaker, I saw that in Mr. Duke. Anytime he cannot have his way and he can fire, he hires and fires. And the man did say, listen, he wants no part of it, and you chose him. And I think he would have outlined to Mr. Duke what his principles are, right? So, and he has to be in charge. You put him in charge. You cannot take it away from him now because it doesn't favor you, right? And it's not about stepping down. He cannot be in any position as far as I see, whether it's leadership or followers. He's not good at being a member of anything. That is Duke. Have a good evening.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
First time caller.
Thank you for calling. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling from Tunapuna.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tunapuna.
I just have one thing to say, I just want to remind the people of the founding father. He said,
caller? Hello? Caller? All right.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yes. I listen here at length, right? All the videos you play, I get someone Facebook to one thing then. And It has two parts of Google wait have the funeral recording where they say exactly what happened. But nevertheless, right? All I can say about this is anything after the PNM in this country, to the politics to run this country, is pure chaos, and more chaos. Because what we want, we just come and keep on trying, right? And just make it, and just putting the people backward. And like you rightfully say, it's the people in Tobago that are suffering, and we have to help to fix that. So really and truly, don't laugh at it, right? Let's see what we can do to help them because they need our help. Pastor Google, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Hello, good afternoon.
Morning, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
Calling from Tobago, first time caller to this program.
Thank you very much for calling.
I said Tobago people shame.
No, don't say that.
I'm telling you, I born and grow Tobago, and everywhere I go, the voters and them who vote for PBD, when I ask them what you think, up to now, none of them can answer me. First, they shame. Tobago is like a ghost town right now. Everybody just quiet. I don't know, like, we just stand still. It's the worst we ever been, Pastor Gogo. But who doesn't hear us feel? Thanks for taking my call, Pastor Gogo. Blessed day. Bye.
Thank you very much. And again, I want to say, this is where we as a nation have to come together and help our brothers and sisters in Tobago. All right? Yeah, it might come across as, yes, you know, I tell you so. You know, it have parents who are like that. Parents who will tell children, I tell you that, look what go on, look what happened. It's good for you. But I want to say, while we might say all of that, this is a time now for us to help them up. Help them up. All right? I played for you a video of the deputy political leader in Trinidad and Tobago. And I don't know how many of you saw the video, how many of you listened to the video, and what she had to say. Sometimes I really wondering if this young lady know what she's saying. If she understand what she's saying and what she's saying. Because at the end of the day, it's bigger than this. It's come on. You need to think about what you're saying. All right? Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Hugo.
Hi, good afternoon.
That's all the callers and listeners on 91.9 and constructive talk. Pastor Hugo, people who want help, it's them who have to help. Tobago people have to say they want help. They're not talking and saying silent to make a difference. And I'll tell you what, that I'm saying after Ms. Daisy. If this had happened in the PNM party and government, where Dr. Rowley would have removed 3 of his deputy political leaders, you'd hear everybody saying that the PNM collapsed, the government collapsed. Only Martin, George Martin, this, the Dumas, this, the James, this. It collapsed, fresh election, new mandate. But it happened in Tobago, and there's silence. Now I hear you. We have to help our brothers. But one of the things to do to help people is they have to come out denial. And you can't hide from the truth from them. The truth is this, they did not listen. And now there's a chance for this thing to work, because this comes to me like a constitutional crisis. It looks as if the PHA has collapsed, because the party that is in office, the 2 main persons at loggerhead, the chief secretary, the deputy secretary. That's what it is. And the deputy chief secretary, who the party is he own, who bring them into his party, and they win on his seat and his ticket, he fire or remove the 3 or 4 top people. What do you call that? So while we might want to help them, while we might don't like what's happening there, there's a crisis in the PHA. And all the intellectuals, the Dumas and all of them, where's the voices? Where are the columnists? Where's Ralph Maraj with the poison pen? Where's all the rest of them? Where's the newspapers, the Express, the Guardian? Why they're not reporting these things and they're keeping it hush-hush? They want to mediate. But had it been in the PNM government, under Dr. K. Christopher Rowley, the whole country would have been walking. Dissolve, the whole thing collapsed. Where's Abdullah? Where's Anisette? Where's Roger? Where's Lambert? Let me be real. They would have been marching the streets for Dr. Rowley to go. He ain't even doing half the thing they say doing, and they're balling, no confidence. Who have confidence now in Farley? Who have confidence now in Watson Solomon Duke? Me, I'm putting water in my mouth at all, as I empathize with them. I empathize. But I'm tell you something. They looked for that, they didn't listen. And now there's a constitutional crisis in the THA, and nobody wants to say nothing. I support them as Julia Daisy. Where is the voices? The THA has collapsed. And nobody's saying nothing. They want to hush it up and we mediate. But if it had happened in Trinidad, they would have never said we mediate. They would have said Dr. Rowley have no confidence. Everybody mash up. The whole party mash up. But here in Tobago, and Tobago, the THA is like the government in Tobago. And we're not hearing nothing. They're too disingenuous. They're too hypocritical. All of them in Tobago did die and had all of them with them now. That's all I have to say. Tobago, I love you all. But all you have to deal with that. THA has collapsed. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Do you agree that the Tobago House of Assembly has collapsed? Let's listen to what's in Duke on Saturday.
Tobago, Trinidad, the region, the wider world. This is what's in Duke, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots. On last week, Thursday, I'm clear an atrocity was committed against the Progressive Democratic Patriots by the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, who is a member of that party. He would have made an attack that was less than kind and that was not child's play. He sought to bring the party into disrepute and made a mockery out of the political leaders' overture for 27 Tobagonians to be fed, who were in the dire straits. Regardless of how persons may twist and turn the issue on social media, it was a humanitarian issue. And it was a direct appeal to the Tobago House of Assembly, who was sitting at that point in time in Executive Council, to make a decision on this and say, okay, political leader, we will deal with this issue. And so a small issue spiraling out into a larger issue seems to be a storm in a teacup. And for some folks, this cannot be the issue, and you're right. It cannot be the issue. And it's not just the issue. The real substantive issue is the fact that the Chief Secretary and some of his executive officers of the THA have shown total disrespect and disdain for the Progressive Democratic Patriots executive. This party was the one who sponsored all of them and placed all of them into government. Since they have entered into the THA, they have refused to meet the executive. They have refused to discuss with the executive what are the mandates they have taken from the party and are now trying to form into policy. They have refused to treat with the party in a respectful manner and also in a submissive manner. Around the world, it's a known fact that party drives government, not government drives the party. The party must answer to the people, and the politicians must answer to the party. Again, I repeat, the party must answer to the people, and the politicians answer to the party. In this case, the PDP must answer to the people of Tobago, and the THA must answer to the PDP, because the PDP represents the people. This is a social contract spoken of in the Constitution. This is a social contract that a citizen engages in with the government. I am of the firm view that this matter does not rest and it will not sleep until the PDP executive has been given the respect it deserves and it should get. The Chief Secretary must know and will soon come to understand that he is simply a reflection of the party. And the party is a reflection of the people. You are no lone wolf. You are no boss. You are simply a hireling, hired through the party, by the people, to facilitate Tobago. I repeat, the Chief Secretary is simply a hireling, hired through the PDP, by the people, to satisfy the desires of Tobago. And so the issue of autonomy is an issue the party has been trying to treat with. What has happened to the office that should be set up in Trinidad? The Chief Secretary has been tiptoeing around the issue. He has been playing on that issue. He has failed to secure an office for that autonomy issue and that intergovernmental relationship issue. He has failed to do that. All he talking about it in the budget was simply showboating, simply PR stunts. He has done nothing to this day. That was given to him since December last year. On the issue of foreign direct investments, I could tell you now, there are many people around the world who wants to invest, but the Chief Secretary, again, he does not provide the environment for that. Where are the staff I'm supposed to have to treat with that issue? I am placed in a cramped place that can best be described as a foul coop with little or no staff. I've been given an administrator who is pig-headed, who refuses to cooperate and assist and uses the law. And though I would have written to the Chief Secretary on many occasions about the atrocities and the errant ways of this administrator, he's told me on many occasions we will deal with it. To date, he has not dealt with it. He has instead changed the administrator of his good friend Zia. She has gotten a new administrator. He has changed the administrators of his good friend Dr. Faith B. Israel on several occasions. But the administrator I'm stuck with, the least experienced administrator, the one who has no allegiance and commitment to what I'm doing, I'm stuck with that one.
You got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street. 919 FM.
Here at Land Capital Certificates, we provide opportunities for your money to make money. We all know saving is important, but saving alone won't get you to your financial goals. And let's face it, the bank doesn't have your best interest in mind. So this is your wake-up call. Do you have $1 million saved? Then contact us today. Sponsor Limited. Call 324-LENN. That's 324-LENN.
It's all about Firewood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Firewood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. You don't know.
Reggae Rock Sundays featuring MC Duke and Selector Kutchi present Reggae and Rockers. On board the Embassy Yacht on September 24th, Republic Night. Boarding 10 p.m. and sailing at 11 p.m. at the Hyatt Waterfront in Port of Spain. Get your reggae groove on. With top DJs, Selector Kutchi, Bruce Wayne, TC and Heavy Duty. Early bird tickets cost $150. After that, you pay more, $175. For tickets, call Selector Kutchi at 777-7909 and MC Duke at 349-4121. Reggae and Rockers Republic Night. No oversized coolers allowed. Don't miss it.
Hi Trinidad and Tobago, this is yours truly, Pastor Charles, streaming live from Port of Spain, Trinidad, Marvel Road, 91.9. Our services start from, 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning from the first, the second, and last Wednesday of the month. We are going to have a T-I-M-E time in the presence of God. We will be praying, praise God, for our nation. We'll be praying for families. We'll be praying for those that are sick and those that are in need. Tune in to the best station, 91.9 FM Street Live, Port of Spain, Maribel.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle Tuesday morning from 11:05 to 12 noon. Right here on the street, 919 FM.
Good about I'm looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it as well.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., to the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., The Law and You, and every Friday evening from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All Night Prayer Live, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Father, I got you among my friends, please. Because we don't know all my enemies. I the one that will stand right beside you. And wanna soak you like them a lead. So me ask God to protect me head in the streets at night. And all of me enemies, yes, Father God, please shine them a light. Oh, Father God, yeah. See, guide me from the bad mind people. know them a fight me. Them boy they no rate me. So we know them a vex with them girl wanna date me. Now for them don't like I. Them want see we down, they don't want see we sky high. But Father God guide I. Enough of them girl love me tongue smile. Oh Father God, yeah. So guide me from them bad mind people. Once them way I promise even. Take them away, yeah, away, yeah. Alright then, know them a watch me while me a drive past. But them want see logic behind bars. Them too bad mind and them too fast. None of them does see me first class. To them just want see me blood flow. In a the graveyard them want me go. So me beg Father got some man. No bad man can't stop the flow. Oh Father God.
Next, constructive talk with Pastor Google.
From them bad mind people. Want them way I promise even. I know. Take them away, yeah. Away, yeah. Oh Father God. Guide me, Father. Guide me from them bad mind humans. Nah. Take them away, yeah. Away, yeah. Alright. Father God, show me my friends, please. Let me down my enemies. Oh, no.
Bang your belly. I don't understand why you can't keep it real with the black man. Keep it real.
So I'm trying to get somebody, because Sister Jenny is saying that, you know, and she would have referred to Miss Juliet Davy and other political analysts, Grong, and and there are some people who have a problem when people call it people political analysts. I take it from the Grong aspect. The people on the Grong, you know, they are political analysts on how they see things on the ground. And Sister Jenny and they are saying that that if this had happened under the People's National Movement, the writers and in the papers, the political analysts who people run to all the time, I would have called one of them a while ago, and while I called him, he said to me that the issue is a constitutional one that can be resolved. And they remember, and this is not me saying this, but this is what was said to me. Remember, Mr. Fali Augustine, who's the Chief Secretary, he is the Chief Sec of the Tobago House of Assembly. If his political leader has an issue with him and has revoked the deputy political leadership from him, the political leader has not removed him as the Chief Sec. The Chief Sec, who is Mr. Farley, said, remember, he said that he was going to deal with Mr. Watson Duke's portfolio over the weekend. Nothing came out of that. Right? Nothing came out of that. Nothing was said about that. We waited patiently during the whole weekend to hear from Farley. Nothing came out of that. So clearly, Farley and they working out their stuff in however best way they choose to. And I'll say this on my end, and based on how I see it going. As one of the analysts said to me, that is a political issue that is happening within the party that they choose not to talk about because they don't know the constitution of the party, and they don't know what they don't know the constitution of the party, so they're looking into it. They are now looking into the political the constitution of the party to decide how they will take the position where this situation is concerned. where Farley and Duke is concerned. All right? We heard one caller from Tobago who would have said that Tobagoans who would have voted for the PDP are very much disappointed in how things are going. I saw a young man who I interviewed a while, some time ago from Tobago, would have made a statement in the press. I'm not in the press, sorry. He would have made a statement about how he feels about the situation in Tobago. And he made a statement by saying that they need to get rid of Watson Duke. Right? He is saying that he believes that they need to get rid of Watson Duke, and he explained why. So I'm going to find that clipping. I'm going to find that statement and read it for you to hear how and what the young man was saying. Again, Trinidad and Tobago, there is a belief that the Tobago House of Assembly is in problems with a political party, and people want to hear from these political analysts, and I hear you. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, you left. So the numbers to call are 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791, 466-5391. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor. Pastor Google. Hello?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
You see this situation with the Tobago House of Assembly, Duke and Farley? This thing didn't start with no group going to New York. This thing like it happening a while now.
Well, if you listen to the clip I played with Watson Duke a while ago, you'll understand that it is much more than just...
Yes. So what happening here is, it seems as though Mr. Duke, he may be telling himself not getting what he expects from Farley then.
Well, he said that.
You understand? So this whole situation here, somebody had to come out, they had to open up more and tell us what's happening. Because this is not no group and no nothing yet. And what I'm seeing here, that organization split down the middle. That's what I see in here. And this thing about mediation with this lawyer man talking about and things, even though them come back together and skin and laugh, people ain't going to trust that. That whole PDP split down the middle. Duke will have his people, and Farley will have those who is on his side. That's all I had to say for now.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, right. I'm calling just to make a comment. Now, I am listening to all the commentary by the Trinidadian callers, and it's cute. It's interesting. But what I will say is the following. The THA Act 40 of 1996, dictates the construct of the Tobago House of Assembly. And at this time, the Tobago House of Assembly remains constitutionally intact. The Chief Secretary, Farley Chavez Augustine, remains as the Chief Secretary. Mr. Watson Solomon Duke remains the Deputy Chief Secretary. The only way that Mr. Augustine can be removed is if one of the assemblymen or Mr. Duke moves on motion of no confidence, in which case he will have to have 7 of the elected members in the Tobago House of Assembly support him on that. That is the only way constitutionally that can happen, which will, of course, trigger some other things. However, the THA and its construct remains intact. This is a political situation. That is a political disagreement between the two, right? What I will say, however, is that the party is not split in two. In fact, the Tobagonians are calling for peace and harmony between the two. And it is from the Trinidad end of things that Mr. Duke and his followers are calling for Farley. And calling and saying all sorts about Farley. Nobody in Tobago is preaching division, you know. Maybe one or two dissenting voices in the distance. But generally speaking, Tobagonians are calling for unity and for continuation of running the Tobago House of Assembly. Mr. Duke may be who he is, and Mr. Augustine is the chief sec, but at the same time, Tobagonians are looking for unity and harmony and balance and peace. All right?
Before you leave, I want to play something, because you're saying that Tobagonians are not calling, or it's Trinidadians who are really...
A few of them.
All right, so tell me who is... All right, so just listen to this and tell me who is this person that you're hearing here, right? I just want you to listen to this.
What we really have there now is gladmanship. Gladmanship about an office, not the burden of the office, you know. Because to lead a nation, to lead a story, you have to be able to carry the burden of responsibility. It's a huge burden. It is not a jokey thing.
You can tell me who is that?
Really have.
I'm trying to recognize the voice. Tell me who it is.
All right, let me play it again. You can't recognize the voice? Listen to it again.
What we really have there now is gladmanship. Gladmanship about an office, not the burden of the office, you know. Because to lead a nation, to lead a story, you have to be able to carry the burden of responsibility. It's a huge burden. It is not a jokey thing.
All right. You know who it is?
I still can't pick up the voice, but it sounds like...
Go ahead.
It's sounding like it could be Hochoy.
Okay, no, it's not Mr. Hochoy, Charles. It's not Mr. Charles.
Who is it?
All right. Okay, hold on, I just know. It's not Mr. Charles. Okay, so you know this voice?
Phone calls I have gotten in Tobago since December 25th is trying to get Farley. I can't get Farley. I calling Ian Pollard. I can't get Ian Pollard.
Just now.
Elected reps. I can't get them. Vanos, one man met me. Today is Tuesday. One man met me Sunday. He said, I have a message for you to give your government that you encourage me to vote for. Tell them they have to answer their phone.
Yes,
now the only reason...
With that.
But remember you told me a while ago that it's Trinidadians who are saying things about Farley and the THA.
Yes, but you are pulling up a clip from Vanas James from way back when, right?
There's no way back when, sir. That's just in May.
That's right. That is a couple of months ago.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to... Yes, but let me finish. Right? The bottom line is, in the grand scheme of things, nobody is trying to pick sides, right? Yes, there may be flaws on the part of the leadership. They are new. This is their first stint in governance. From a PDP perspective, from Farley's perspective as a chief secretary, but at the same time, people need to understand and appreciate that the amount of things that they would have found in entering office left undone, that you cannot always meet people every day, every time. Yes, they will be in their districts, etc. But it is not superhumans they're dealing with.
Nobody, no. He never, and when the both of them were talking, they were not talking in the context of looking for a superhuman. They're not talking in the context, and you are trying to now justify or try to find out. Yeah, you are. Listen to all right. Well, then listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. When I heard this one, I said, okay, you are saying to me, hear what you said to me, that they're not superhuman and all of this. Well, listen to this.
I'll be early for anything, and it's embarrassing Tobago and embarrassing people because the chief secretary can't be early for anything, and it's embarrassing Tobago.
Listen to what he has to say.
Embarrassing people
But this was
and
listen
the
to him
outside
now.
world who want to help
Listen
us.
to him.
I mean, the genuine outside world will consider Tobago a primitive place if the chief secretary continue not to be able to manage his calendar and his timing. I am hurt, you know. I want to.
So
they are quite aware.
just now. What I'm saying
As
to
I
you.
said,
So
listen.
no caller, we listening here just now.
Okay.
Because remember, you came on the air and said to the listeners and the viewers that it's Trinidadians who creating the issue. There are no issues in Tobago. People in Tobago don't have any issue.
Saying that there are no issues, but let me ask you a
And then
question.
again, the former chief secretary saying that he's willing to give the young man advice. He's willing to give him counsel.
But that was months ago. Do you not think he would have discussed that with him?
Yeah, but
He would have.
but they are still. He still has been doing videos and saying that he's not happy with how the chief secretary is operating.
Listen, there are three things in play, right? Let me explain. First and foremost, yes, we understand that they are a young administration, missteps should be made, and they have the opportunity to clarify those things with the people. The second thing is, right, it is not to say Farley is a stubborn person. He listens. And
Really?
Yes, he does.
Well, caller, I wanna leave it there because I have a lot of other callers waiting to talk, and a lot of them from Tobago. But a lot of them from Tobago too, and they want to share their views. I can't allow it. Right, you need to be really quick.
Right. The last point is, has Farley responded? No, he has not. All of the narrative has been coming from Mr. Duke and his people in Trinidad. That is all
And sir, that is not true. That is not true. I have read. All right, thanks very much. That is not true. And that is the narrative that you want to put out there. But that is not true. Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Pastor Google.
Yes?
When you're growing up, you hear something about a bully and your parents tell you I'm of God's kind of bully?
Okay.
Eh?
I'm listening.
Calabash, you're of God's kind of bully. Trust me. Well, today, as usual, but today you're of God's kind of bully.
Why is it that?
Because this man trying to spend this thing how the long-term record used to be. Eh? The LP record and 45 and the man spending it all the fuck of the month and he getting like if May month 2022 was 100 years ago. I don't need 3 months. Just 3 months ago and a week or 2 weeks. The fuck of the matter, this thing have been preparing a while. Listen what Watson Duke said. The main thing Duke want to open his office in Trinidad and Farley's not taking on Watson Duke. So that is just right again, like if that just Europe just so. That ain't just so. I ain't just so at all. Duke finally gets something to vomit it out. So the amount of crap he talking, you gotta go and drink some water. And drink some clean spring water too.
All right, caller.
But right now, UNC. Right now, UNC vexed. Because UNC was Duke ready to concentrate in Tobago. Them vexed. Right now, them vexed at Duke because Duke looking to come here, them vexed. Them want Duke come and China at all. Them want Duke to concentrate in Tobago, to hold that Tobago seat. Because them cannot win an election. Them cannot win an election. If Tobago seat go to the PN. You know that. All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to your listeners and callers of 91.9. Pascal, you hear what the caller before the last one eventually said? You see who you blaming? Is he? Blaming the people in Trinidad.
And that's why I told him, that's why I played those clips for him. Even though I played those clips for him from people from Tobago. People from Tobago, he is saying that it's still people from Trinidad who fuel in it. And then when you listen to Watson Duke wasn't upset because of something in Trinidad.
Exactly.
Watson Duke is upset about something that happened in the States to Tobagonians. How all of a sudden now it's Trinidadians who fuel in it?
I really can't understand. It's not we who were called. Nobody in Trinidad was called with respect to the issues as it pertains to the representatives who left Roxborough to go to America. You understand? Wherever it is, it broke down. There is an issue of some $400,000. And if it is that there are situations whereby there are certain protocols, and one leader trying to subserve the leadership of the other one, and vice versa, and so it's going back and forth about who is the leader and who is not the leader, and who could discipline who and who ain't could discipline who. Where are we going with that? You understand? It's a leadership crisis we have right now going on right there in Tobago. That is the issue. It's a leadership crisis. And you showed earlier on, before the top of the hour, how certain people deal with leadership. You understand? You can't want to fight everybody, and you can't be posing threats for the whole wide world to see. You deal with it internally, and you come to some sort of resolution, as the case might be. And if some of the Tobago elders who are more seated and versed in this thing want to assist you, and you don't want no help from nobody, well then what you want the people to say and do? Everybody going to say, well, listen, everybody going to have an opinion, and it is not looking good. You understand? It's not looking good at all, because Farley indicated that he was going to deal with the issue before the end of the weekend. I would believe Farley may have gotten further advice from other people, maybe senior personnel and so on, and may have been taking a different angle or a different look at it. I don't know. I'm assuming. But at the end of the day, this has to be resolved one way or the other. And the longer it continues in this, going down in this direction, the only people going to suffer is the Tobagonian people.
And I said that this morning. I have a caller holding, so let me take this caller. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I am listening to the discussion.
Yes.
And from the time this thing started, it has to be that the PDP is separate and apart from the Tobago House of Assembly. So Mr. Duke could not stay where he was in the United States of America and call Mr. Farley Augustine and tell him to send money. There is accountability when Mr. Farley, and when you apply to go anywhere, any group to go anywhere, there is a process where things are done in a proper way so that when you have to account, because the House of Assembly is the government of Trinidad and Tobago, you know. Well, not, if you understand what I mean.
Yes.
So that when you spend in the government money, Farley Augustine, as the Chief Secretary, has to account. Good? So you can't just say, send money. Before money is sent, it has to be approved by the competent authority. So no way Mr. Duke could have said, send money, and Farley Augustine just take up money and send. And that is the contention. Good? So Mr. Duke had to know what to do. This is not PSA. I am not a member of PSA, but I knew what was going on in PSA. I live in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? And I am listening to you, and it seems to me that you are taking sides.
Me?
Good? Yes, you. You are not, it does not come out. But your insinuations are. Mr. Farley Augustine was quite correct. Quite correct. They were not going on Tobago House of Assembly business.
The first thing, ma'am,
they were going to have a good time.
Let me just correct you. The first thing is that first of again, when I listen to this whole drama, it had no side to take with Farley and Duke, you know, because the both of them wrong. The both of them are wrong. Let me tell you why the both of them wrong.
No.
One caller would have said.
I want to disagree with you. Farley was not wrong to refuse to send money. He has to account as the head of the Tobago House of Assembly. He has to account. Right? Who approved this? Who approved this? It's not to just stay and spend money, Mr. Pastor Google. It is not about that. And we have to do the right thing in this country. You understand? We have to do the right thing in this country. You're not spending your money. You're spending the government money.
Okay, I have another caller holding. Thank you very much.
Very well.
Hello, good
Thanks.
afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Pastor.
Good afternoon.
Right. So I'm not sure if many people, I've heard the different folks talking about this issue with the Tobago House of Assembly. And my take on it after observation is that this whole thing is child's play. And the reason why I say child's play is because I'm listening to the deputy political leader, the one assigned for Trinidad, and I'm hearing her rambles and rants. And I'm realizing that there is a lot of I want to use the appropriate word for the radio, but tongue licking. Instead of reprimanding your leader and saying, sir, with all due respect, you are wrong. Because at the end of the day, yes, you are a political leader, but a man was put into a position and a post to spearhead the Tobago House of Assembly. And therefore, whether you are a political leader or whatever leader, respect is given because he has been given the helm of that office. So you have to respect him as such. Now, what I find so confusing is that if Watson is the deputy chief sec, how is it that he doesn't know what is going on? How is it that it is so hard for him to call the Tobago House of Assembly or to call the chief sec and say, hey, my brother, as how it is you're saying, vaguely say in your videos, what is going on here? This XYZ, so is the case. These people are out here. Whether or not they, I understand whether or not they're Tobago business.
He didn't know.
Or not.
He did call him.
So he did call him.
Yeah, he did.
This is the thing, right? We only have a certain amount of facts out in the open.
Well, I remember when I played the live, what do you call it? The live press conference that the chief sec had, right? Mm-hmm. The chief sec said that he did call while they were in council. He called and he said that he had the deputy chief sec, which is Watson Duke, live on speakerphone. So all of the secretaries heard what Watson Duke was saying about the team that was out in America without food and stuff like that.
So then what you're saying is then that the chief sec, along with the other secretaries, would have then neglected the people? Or is it that we're not going full into detail as to the budget that was allocated for this trip that they would have gone on as ambassadors representing Tobago in culture? Is it that we have more to answer in terms of mismanagement of funds on the team that went?
Well, what the chief sec is saying is that they didn't send them anywhere. All they did was they came for funding for their tickets.
And they assisted.
Them. And my thing is, and that's what I was telling the caller just now, that the both of them wrong in my book. Why I say the both of them wrong? If something happens to me in the UK, right, and a member of parliament, and my member of parliament is in the UK with me when something happens to me, and I go to my member of parliament and tell him, yeah, I was living in Croydon, and I get put out, and I don't know if you can help me, give me a little money now. And my member of parliament, called Dr. Rowley and tell Dr. Rowley, hey, I have a member of our constituents here stranded in London. I need some money. Let's send some money for me now so that I could help my member, my constituents. I have to go to the consulate. I have to go to the High Commissioner to London to get help. How all of a sudden now we go in to if Watson Duke wasn't there, who they would have sent them to? Not to the consulate?
Correct is right.
And that is what I was telling the lady.
No, that's true.
What you have to do is to go to the consulate. That is the person assigned to help Trinidadians who have issues over there. How all of a sudden Watson Duke is the go-between man.
Yeah, and that is where the problem lies.
And that is why I said that both of them wrong. Because you heard the chief sec saying that he called a man from the cultural group, some group in America, and he gave them $9,000 US. You understand what I'm saying? He
Totally
would have taken
understand.
9,000 US to put them up in a hotel or to put them somewhere. And he asked, the chief sec said that he asked the man, you know, any caterer who could give them a little breakfast and a little snack in the night. And
Yeah.
what is our registered caterer? You know how long the Tobago House of Assembly just take long to pay people and all them kind of nonsense. That is not in your purview.
Pastor, what are the acts then? Because I mean, you see, information is power. And as you see, the more that we get into it, is the more that we realizing what's going on here. But my question is to you, right? Because I think that you're a man that have real good reason. So is it that this whole thing is a ploy to derail what is going on right now? Because to me, all I am seeing really, with all the little separate thing going on here, there, and everywhere, that all I really see happening is that this is a ploy to derail and to put down.
You know what it is, my brother? This, I will play. Watson, you're reconnecting. Watson Duke is using this to vent about the issue that Farley has neglected his responsibility to see about him or to see about what he is doing in Trinidad. Watson Duke said it. Watson Duke said it. Well, you had to call me back. Your phone reconnecting. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Pastor Google.
Uh-huh.
I think you're spot on, you know. And I think we have missed some salient points in terms of the secretary, the lady in Trinidad who spoke when you played that this morning. Because she made some serious
allegations. Yes.
Of impropriety in public life.
And that is why
That's exactly what she said.
And that is why I said to the lady, when the lady called, I say, oh, I taking sides. Me taking no sides.
Yeah. That lady, by what she said, are some very damning allegations against against Farley. That she said some stuff that if it's truth, I think everybody talking about Watson and Farley, but if that is truth, then it is worth investigating.
Yep.
In terms of who is this party? I'm just going a different road right now. That Farley is in tune with, that is giving contracts and yet again to Trinidad and Tobago contractors, and they're giving them millions of dollars in feedback. That's exactly what she said, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And he's getting millions of dollars in feedback, and he's also in cahoots with a political party or a group in Trinidad to try to overturn the Mr. Watson Duke from being able to remain as the leader of the PDP. Now, I don't know if people heard the lady said that. And I mean, you know, the news does play all kind of things, but they don't play and they don't ask these questions when they hear these people talking. You know, it's amazing that we didn't, and you are the one that I'm hearing discussing that today. And I'm also saying, isn't it then based on what you just said in that last conversation, that in the priorities, that's the word? In terms of how he deals with the money, the THA money. Doesn't Mr. Watson Duke also understand protocol? Doesn't Mr. Watson Duke also understand? Yes, and you just said it. Could you imagine somebody calling the MP in America and the MP calling the Prime Minister in Trinidad to say get the money? That's what you now said. How we would have looked at that if that wasn't a different group of people or a different political party. So all wrong. That's why I'm glad you said to the lady, ma'am, if they have no reason for, I can't choose no side because all of them in the wrong. Pastor Gouveia, you there with me?
All right there. How could the chief sec call?
That is not his role and portfolio.
Listen to me now. How the chief sec, right, could call a man in America and tell him, here what now? I needed to see about these people, right? But you know the teacher does take long to pay. You know any caterer? You know any caterer over there? A reputable caterer? How we doing that?
But again, yeah, it goes further again in terms of how corruption then can be seen in terms of what happens in government. Again, they're not even on THA business.
No, they're not, you know. They not. They were not sponsored by THA.
No, THA assisted them, which they have all right and privilege to do. But it's not THA business. They were under. And again, if we want to debate right and wrong, and I'm saying this now, how could we be debating right and wrong on something that has gone totally against what should be the protocols, what should be the authority structures, what should be the standard and procedures? Everywhere you go, there are standard and procedures. And you know why we continue to be a corrupt country? When we continue to debate right and wrong, depending on who the players are. And it is said that truth only have one complexion. For what tangled web people weave when they set out to deceive. And you are right. Because when you listen to what Mr. Duke said this weekend, it has all to do with those who feel they're in power now and feel they could do with him what they want, not realizing that he is their boss as the political leader. Pastor Google, I will have to go back to your main point for the day, and I hope will not miss your main point for the day. And that main point for the day is that scripture. Do not laugh at your enemies when they fall down. That's not your main point for the day, Pastor Google.
Yes,
you
sir.
say you're keeping that for the day.
Yes, sir.
And I think we need to remember that Proverbs 24:17. And don't laugh when your enemies fall. Don't gloat over them. So I'm hoping that we remember these points and don't gloat over them when they collapse. God might see and become very provoked and then take pity on his plight. And so we need to be careful. They say when your neighbor's house is on fire, there's another proverbial saying from back in the day. What you need to do with yours, you need to wet yours. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Pastor Google.
It's Mr. Paul Spain. Loud and clear.
You know, sometimes, Pastor Google, you just have to really tell these people and I'm like it. You listen to a show on Chess Show, you arrive that Pastor Google taking side. Like you wasn't listening, lady. I mean, come on. All you have just started jump on the radio with all your bias. And to the caller in Tobago who talking about Trinidadian Bonham, that foolishness, rubbish. What to do? But in the United States of America, the comment was made with the THA secretary. Two of them was exchanging with themselves. How Trinidadians throwing up that? Let me hear. What is your reason behind that? I mean, somehow you know that when all you come on the radio, people have been listening all over the world to all you. You know, all you don't be making sense at all. And Pastor Google, I don't end with this, you know, because this is on my stomach. I have not heard an apology for the tape and the explanation brought up by yourself and Mr. Sinclair, who did the program on the Independence Day. I am saying today that the UNC is the most shameless, dishonest party that we ever had in Trinidad and Tobago. And I want we to continue on that. We must be reminded every day that Kanija, went and tell the world a big dishonest mistruth. Thank you very much for allowing me this contribution. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Paul Spain, thank you very much. I'm going to play only what Chief Sec said, you know. I want to play what the Chief Sec said. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon, sir.
You bring in information and people say you take inside, Pastor Google.
Look, I didn't even know I take a side. I didn't even know I pick a side. I was just physically... Anyway, sorry, caller, go ahead.
Seen it, right? This thing playing up on social media. if you ever Zashin, one in New York and one in Tobago, what could be so bacchanalish than what's going on between the two of them there? And all the statements they play between the two of them, as I share playing up in social media. When they meet face to face, I want to see the two seven slash. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Sorry about the feedback. Good afternoon, Papa G. And to listeners of Constructive Stuff, and to Trinidadians and Tobagonians and Trinbagonians. Mr. Papa G, how in heaven's name you taking aside? Mr. Palestine, good afternoon to you, brother. Thank you very much. How in heaven's name you take aside? How in heaven's name is we Trinidadians? What you all are experiencing, it is called cognitive dissonance. It is because you had a belief in something, and when the truth faced here, you can't do anything about it, or you have no thoughts on the matter, so you have to resort back to your foolish way of thinking. Listen, we're not responsible for what's going on there. We wish you all well. We warn you all, and we wish you all well. As far as I see it, this is even worth discussion. What this was is an election. I'm going to take my legs from all there. All you have to swimming all there game there right now. Papa G and them coming across decent and trying to unravel it and all kind of thing. But it's basically downright rubbish, foolishness, never see come see, and never thought, and that's where it is. You know, I'm not feeling sorry for all you. Come back with all your brutishness about Trinidadian and all kind of brutishness, and all your stupid scene are going.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. Good afternoon. You know what? I feel somewhat sorry for them, you know.
Well, I seen that.
I feel embarrassed as a Trinbagonian. I feel embarrassed, Pastor Google, because hear what was said to me in initial stages. I sponsored $400,000. So let me start with that. I would like to go to New York.
Wait, just no. I think we get that wrong. He didn't sponsor $400,000. He was talking about in total, including the 9,000 US, I believe it is, that the guy would have put towards their stay, wherever they have to stay, and I think the caterer. So when they put the tickets, the 9,000 US plus the caterer that they got to feed them, all together, that came up to the 400,000. They didn't give them 400,000 to go anywhere.
All right, so hold on. I buy a ticket, right? Because what you said to me, that you paid for the ticket in advance on our credit.
No, I think they give the
airline,
the what do you call them? A promissory note.
I give the airline, right? I was given a credit note by the airline to send these people away, right? The lady with these people was going by Pastor Google said to us some time ago, hey, they came by me last year and was a problem. And I told them this year, I ain't taking them.
Well, I didn't hear that story. What I heard was that the chief sexy, that Miss Allen Toppin called him and told him that the lady that they were supposed to stay by was in a party. She was in a party, and when the phone rang, she did not hear the phone ring.
All right, but the lady who didn't hear the phone ring said to us that, hey, they were by me last year.
Me hear that one. I didn't hear that one.
Well, right, and was a problem by these people staying by me last year. Was a heap of problem, and on top of that, when they come back to Tobago to get my money was a problem. It take me how much months after how many phone calls to get my money. So I said to them when they called this year, I ain't going down that road. So I told them how many months ago that I not taking these people. So I would have hoped that it had made alternative arrangements. This is what the lady is saying. I know.
We had our story.
Well, let mother call mother and let mother send me the clip. And I heard that on YouTube. So I know, buy a ticket to go to New York with the help at Shopping Toppin. Because Shopping Toppin told him, the Tobago House of Assembly, that things are in place. That is why I took the effort to take my money to buy a ticket. So, because here we're going on, if I sponsor the ticket, and you go on now, and you tell me you're going by Shopping Toppin, I arrange for you to go by the lady. And the lady, because when you reach in the airport, they ask you where you're going, what is the address and where you're going. I'm going by Pastor Google. But Pastor Google told me 2 months ago that he had no room, but I have an address where I'm going, so I go by Pastor Google. When I reach now, by Pastor Google.
You had to wrap up, you know. Have people holding.
How I could take my $9,000 now, US dollars, and put it out with the intention for who to pay me back this $9,000. Farley is supposed to pay me $9,000 because nobody is telling me in that organization that doesn't represent me. They went on behalf of themselves to represent Tobago, but they went on behalf of themselves. Who is the president of the association? How much money did you request from THA and how much you get? Nobody is telling me that. All I hear is 400,000 and a man calling to send money Western Union. And if Farley say I contribute 400,000, that can't, I don't understand how that is. So that is, you're telling me the man who put the 9,000 don't get paid already?
No, he
So
didn't say. No, he
that.
didn't say that. He said to the man who put out the 9,000, you know that the THA does take long to pay.
Who is saying that?
Farley.
So then, if that is the case, then how come Farley come up with 400,000 if he ain't paid the man yet the 9,000?
Because they check up all that they would have to contribute.
So he total up all of that in one to come up with 400,000. So nobody knows what was the cost to go from Tobagonian to leave Tobago to go to New York. So
Yeah,
everybody jump on a plane. Everybody jump on a plane. I pay for it to go. And all they have nuts. So they go in all they work with.
But he said that. He said all of that. He said all of that in the message, man. All right, I have to go.
So then leave Trinidad with a double and a half to be. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, man. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. People getting tied up the shiny thing on the wall. This is just an excuse Watson used to bring the private war. I'm to be union, no. They say he and Farley been having a private war for a while. Talking to my family over there, I was in Tobago during the elections, all of that stuff. He used that little shiny thing with the whole travel thing to bring their private argument out in the public forum. They have been going back and forth for a while. So this is just a thing. This is just a shiny thing on the wall they're using, that Watson Duke is using to bacchanal Farley in public. The crazy thing was, when I was down there, I told my cousins and them, most of my family were PDP 100%. I said, be careful of Watson Duke. He reminds me of Donald Trump. He is a bull in the china shop. You can't control him. Oh, they love that about him. They love when he was cussing the PNM. They love his bacchanalish way. They supported him. A lot of the people supported him. The same people today who went on Facebook and talk about he should be dealing with it in private and he shouldn't be acting like that. They were the ones who were cheering him on and clapping him when he was cussed the two ladies, when he made nasty comments about them and Farley had to come and apologize. They were cheering him on. And with respect to the contractors, if you look at what's happening, talk to Tobagonians on the ground, when they came in, they fired a bunch of contractors and called them PNM contractors. They had to remove all them PNM contractors. But the job is still there. So who getting the contracts to do the job? You guys, stop looking at the shiny thing on the wall and start looking behind the wall. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in Tobago beside this. This is minor. Now these executive board of the party calling them in to talk. Ask any Tobagonian who on that executive board. Nobody don't know. Nobody don't know who, except for maybe Martin Bailey, who is a member of that executive board. And it's time for somebody to stop looking at just this, because another thing.
You have to be quick.
The guy in the interview said that all the people he know who are member of that group in Roxborough. So who in the group?
Well, we will find out soon enough. We will find out soon enough. Thanks.
So what I'm saying is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, a lot of stuff, and we should just stop looking at only this and dig up what's going on behind the scenes too.
Right. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good day, Pastor Google. How are you doing?
Yeah, you have 2 minutes.
Right, here what's going on. If you listen to both Farley and Watson Duke, the stories are them not adding up and they're not making sense. On the side of Farley, when you talk about this whole thing with this trip thing, if you're going on a trip, Pastor Google, you must have an idea how much you would have cost and how much you was going to donate to these persons going on this trip, right? The way, in my opinion, how Farley broke down the expenditure as the finance person in terms of what was supposed to be spent for these persons, the allocation, and what was eventually spent afterwards, I find he did not do a good job, in my opinion, as a finance person. He did not do a good job of breaking it down, because it seems to me when he explained, like this was all right. He said we get them tickets, whatever, and after that, the cost just ballooned to whatever 400,000. To me, Pastor Google, I probably missed something where he said in the speech that he gave.
I feel like I missed it.
Right, but it didn't make sense, because what I'm saying is, Pastor,
I hear you what you said.
If this person going to a trip, the cost, we have the expenditure here. The invoice from BWI said it was from Carl, sorry, it was supposed to be 200,000 for these persons to go. This is the invoice that we got, and this is what we paid for these persons. With reference to accommodation, we had no dealings with that. However, the accommodation came up to additional 9,000 US and whatever.
All right, I will get it and play it for you guys. Right. All right, thanks very much.
Okay.
Right.
If you know how the THA works, the THA are no cash sitting down nowhere about to take up and go on Western Union to anybody. The THA is not in a position that he could just get up and say, here, look, cash. That's not how it works. All the spend must be contingent on executive council minutes that will give the authority for this spend. All. It can't just be, I just decided we're going to spend the money. That's all. I'm Secretary of Finance. That is not how it works. Certainly not in my administration. Maybe before, but not now. Maybe in another place, but not here in Tobago. That is not how that works. Due diligence is required, and there are some procedural steps that must be followed. We campaigned on this matter, and I am holding firm on this matter. If it then followed the standard procedure that is required by law, I am not approving it. I am not supporting it. End of story. End of story. Because I spent way too many hours campaigning against that kind of behavior. It cannot be that a Deputy Chief Secretary will mount a public platform and will moot points that really and truly goes against the very facts of the matter.
So hear what? We will continue this discussion on Wednesday. All right? We talk to you and Tobago. Have a safe one. Goodbye. And only enjoying the conversation and what I have to go. Coming up next is the Pressure Show. All right? So don't touch your dial. Stay right here on the street, 919 FM.
In front of me, in front of me. Don't pretend to act like that, you're not fooling.
Coming up next, it's The Pressure Show. The Pressure Show.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
Long time when I sing together. Wait. Come in, my brother, come in. Market. All right. Let's say something to the world. That you're around. See ya. Might not show it. Can't find words to say. Try to say I love you, but I get tempted. See ya. I start to piece of words. Where you live everywhere. I wish you would stay longer. Just a little bit longer. Right up my knife like this good word. To make me stronger. I wish you would stay longer. Come on. Just like magic. Well, woman, just a little more time. Who you say you know me? Well, I want you right to know me like me. Listen, man, little more time. Who you say you know me? Well, I want you right to know me like. Get out! Cause I'm a nice and decent, well brown, some girl. Me do belong to my castle. Me mix it to my world. Trying to know my life, I know shine. Coming on me like my dead full God singing. Oh, you wish you would so long way. Bright up my life like this new world. See ya. Oh, you It brings sorrow to me heart and sadness to me brain. Jimmy for me go down to the way some shit. Mash up the heart and shit, mash up the mission and shit. Step up the pattern and move up the fence. So much things to say I want tell it to our face. Can't find the word to fit that perfect space. Every sign, oh you can relate. So many girls find out out of the gate. Some of them are rushing cause enough can't wait. Mr. Barry Salmon. I wish you would stay longer. Just a little bit longer. Right up my life. Just like Disney World. I wish you would stay longer. Oh, wisdom. But just like magic, you were gone. You gotta sing it. You were gone. You were gone. I wish. Now here it is. It's a joy. Bring it up. We've never been taught to unite. Now we've been taught to social distance. Further dividing us. But it won't work because we can live without the people. And they cannot live without the music. And we are the music, and it's all a part of you out there.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life, The Health Store, being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Mohammed. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp at 309-4697 or 620-9379.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for the program The Final Hour with Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr. and his wife Nikki Garcia for the Bible study every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mark chapter 16 verse 15 says, "Go into all the world and preach this gospel for every creature, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation."
Job Optimum Health and Wellness. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan. Examines all of your organs in a single session. 95% accuracy. It's painless, non-invasive, and affordable. Call Pastor Job at 350-2628, 767-1031, or 275-6300. Sick and tired of being sick and tired? Get your Bioplasma Diagnostic Full Body Scan at Job Optimum Health and Wellness.
The Diamond Jubilee Calypso Monarch. Our 60th independence celebrations continue with the Diamond Jubilee Calypso Monarch competition. Come out and see TNT's Calypso Heavyweights vie for the grand prize of $200,000. Look out for the semifinals on September 17th at Naparima Bowl, San Fernando, and the finals on September 25th at the Grandstand, Queens Park, Savannah. Who will take the crown of the Diamond Jubilee Calypso Monarch? For more info, contact the Tuco head office at 623-9660 or follow us at Forging Forward TT on Facebook and Instagram. The Diamond Jubilee Calypso Monarch.
Good, that boat line looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from Kings Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat line look like it was wet.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, beat all talk.
It's all about the fastest growing reggae show in the land without a doubt. Right here on the street 919 FM. Each and every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with yours truly, MC Duke, alongside Selector Kochi. So make it a date and don't be late. Rock and come in, line up, link up, creep up. You don't know reggae rock each and every Sunday. Salute God Amari, King Selassie.
Good about I'm looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it as well.
Going out and body the people